Hey there artists, today I'm going to show you a new printmaking technique called marbling. Marbling is when you take a piece of paper and again it's a printmaking, so you print it and you make it into this beautiful background that can become anything that you really want it to be. It could be just an artwork on its own, it could be a background for a sky or something else. So this is again a really fun technique, and the way that you create this is with a special type of ink. It's called Suminagashi. It is a Japanese ink because marbling is really famous in Japan. It's also really famous in Turkey. And so I have the marbling inks that I bought, and I know many of you are really going to like this. So if you really like it, something that you can ask for from Amazon is Suminagashi ink. And really it comes with these droppers, but we're going to use extra small amounts because we want it to last a long time for lots of friends in the art room. So I put it into, or actually today I'm just going to use red and black, but I put it into a little dish. And the other things that you're going to need are water. And in this water, I've already put a thickening paste into it, so it's a little bit thicker than normal water. I've got paper to print. You're going to need to use a pencil to write your name and teacher code before you do anything else, and a couple other fun things that I'm just gonna show you. So let's go ahead and just get started. So to do this, I'm going to actually use a toothpick instead of a dropper. And again, I'm just going to show you with the two inks. So you could start with, it doesn't matter which ink, you're going to have more colors hopefully too. I'm just going to dip it into the ink. It just gets a baby amount on your toothpick, and I'm going to put it in, and I'm going to touch the water surface. Man, I thought it was going to fan out more. I just tested this. I'm just going to keep going with it for now. So often it makes a little bit bigger ring. Sometimes it flashes out so much it goes to the edge of the paper. Let's try the red ink. I'm going to turn the toothpick so each toothpick can have two different colors. And you could use the toothpicks over and over again. You don't need to get each one. Oh, did you see how it pushed it out a little bit? And you can go back and forth, creating all different kinds of patterns. So far I've just been putting circles and circles. I could start to put circles in other places so that they can start to bump into each other. Ooh, they're kind of pushing each other away. And you can do this over and over again all over the paper. Again, it's nicer when it fans out more. It'll have different effects just depending on how much thickening I put in the water and depending on what type of pan you've got going on here too. What if we push one here? Okay guys, so it's really fun. Take your time. The more that you add, the more interesting your work will be. I'm going to say that again. The more that you add, the more interesting your print is going to be. You can try different techniques too. You see how I'm pushing it just on the side of the oval or the side of the circle, for instance? Okay, so let's go ahead and show a couple more things that you could do. Okay, now again, you want it to be about the size of your paper. I don't know, I said again. I don't think I said that in the first place, but you want it to be about the size of your paper, so you can kind of like bring your paper over and be like, oh, do I have enough? No, keep going. So I'm going to stop because you're probably excited to do this, or I hope you are. And other things you could do, for example, you could take the toothpick and you could gently, don't stir, because if you stir, the ink is going to sink to the bottom. I'm gently, like an ice skater, pulling it through. This is kind of a popular technique in cakes too. Sometimes you might have other tools too, like a fork, which is essentially just 4 little toothpicks. Again, gently across the surface. Okay, so once you're like, that's kind of cool, make sure again your name is on the side that you're looking at. And what you're going to do is you're going to drop the paper onto the dish of water. You might have to push the corners down just a little bit because they curl up. I'm not sinking them. I'm not pushing it under the water. There's no water on top of my paper. And it's supposed to be there for about 3 seconds. And then you're going to lift it up. and then that is your print. All right, guys. So I'm gonna make sure I put these all together on the drying rack. If it's really dirty, one more thing is, if it's really dirty and the next person or you're printing, you can use a strip of newspaper and you could just kind of whoosh the newspaper or almost print the newspaper and then throw that piece of newspaper away. And that'll get it pretty much ready for the next artist. All right, guys, happy arting today.